What's up, folks? Will Brinson, Matt Hammer, Tom Livolsi, Trent Penix here with the ADHD Sports Podcast. I don't know what episode it is because ADHD.
There's a bunch of them that I still need to get off of my phone.
It's actually hilarious how our episodes are like distributed because it's like really ADHD. It's like there's one on YouTube, there's some on Substack.
It makes a lot of sense.
We're here at Behringer Construction in the
dojo.
Sexy little
speakeasy.
Yeah, speakeasy. Lots to talk about. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. You guys have a good Thanksgiving?
Great. Just for the record, you're supposed to have sent me the link for the one with the basketball dude.
Well, yeah, that probably tracks.
Right.
Derek Wittenberg.
The
College Basketball Hall of Fame.
I watched Survive and Advance for the millionth time last night and watched that guy destroy your fucking skull.
And then for 3 days straight, I texted Tom and said, just call me, and I'll talk you through how to do it. And then I sent him all the login info for the channel, and crickets.
Yeah, there's one with like, we have an episode that we'll get.
Thayer Thomas and Trent Penix.
Thayer Thomas and Trent Penix. And
then Shy and we had the one. Yeah. All right, we got it.
It's
a work in progress.
It's operated exactly as you might expect from a technological standpoint.
What's funny is
do we have any sponsors to shout out? My Way Tavern,
Behringer Construction.
Behringer Construction, of course, for all your construction needs.
Yeah.
What was the group you gave a shout out to last time? When you were smoking beaver cartridges? Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I've got in my bag. I've got some.
Pac-Man?
No, I've got some Nice Time gummies.
Nice Time gummies.
Plug.
Use promo code SPORTSBALL, get 15% off. These are they got some nice time. They've got some nighttime ones. These are like 10 milligrams of Delta 9. They're legal. Like you can have them like delivered in Raleigh. So
I only like the illegal.
No, these are really good. Very good.
There's something.
These are.
Oh, and what was the code? What was the code for
Sports Ball?
Albatross.
Oh yeah. Albatross Golf Pub. Use promo code ADHD Sports and get 15% off all online bookings. Badass place in Cary, downtown there. Killer setup with a bunch of J.J. Watt was there during the soccer stuff. I think Ocho Cinco came by, so like you never know who you'll see. Maybe the podcast.
And we were there. We were there too.
Yeah. You got a great selection of bourbon. Yeah. Awesome setup.
Yeah, that place is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good times. What I was gonna say, what's funny, my wife was asking, she's like, where are all the episodes that you filmed? I'm like, she's like, didn't you start a technology company? Like a couple of them? And I'm like, look, I'm the idea guy. All right, leave me alone. But Thanksgiving was good.
Magic box right here.
Yeah.
Your phone.
Nobody would ever think that you're the tech savvy guy, and I'm the moron. But that's.
Hey, I'm kind of good at everything. Great at nothing. Kind of good at everything.
Aren't you a UNC Hall of Famer?
Yeah, I mean,
sport lacrosse.
Lacrosse better than most.
That qualifies as great.
No. At my funeral, no one will say he was the greatest at anything. They'll say he was pretty good at everything.
Well, there's like 5 people who are the greatest at anything.
Right. Like I'm not one of them.
But Tom Brady's going to end up like not even being the greatest quarterback of all time.
Who do you think?
What?
Takes him now?
Mahomes will catch him.
Really?
Who? Patrick Mahomes?
No.
He's played Super Bowls in 4 years.
No. Tom Brady, listen, I was a Peyton Manning defender for the longest time. He's the greatest.
Brady is currently the greatest ever.
Tom Brady.
I'm saying I think Mahomes, and I even think Andy Reid will walk down Belichick as the greatest coach of all time.
That's bold. I mean, that is
Philly
what
showed him.
A hot take, yeah.
That's a hot take. I mean, I think what kind of goes into that content, Brady did it with a bunch of no-name guys, not Kelsey's and he's got a huge
Randy
support.
Moss and Wes Welker.
Yeah, but dude, now
Wes
you're
Welker
like justified.
not a household name.
Robert Kelsey's a better.
All right, Gronk. I'll give you Gronk.
Gronk and Kelsey.
Do you not agree that Brady made them who they are? Like what? Danny Amendola, all these guys went on to be household names. They were nobody.
For sure, but they also had like a great defense because it was coached by Belichick.
Where did Gronk go to college?
Arizona.
Okay, where did Wes Welker go to college?
Texas Tech. I have a great Wes Welker.
Wow, you're good at that. Damn, I was not expecting you to know that.
We played against. Wes Welker was on campus in Raleigh when I was in college.
Randy Moss was the first NC State Marshall.
Yeah. Buddy of mine from High Point was the kicker at Fort Texas Tech, like in college, and he was frat brothers with Wes Welker.
Oh wow!
I bet that guy was fucking great to hang out with.
Oh yeah. So I was out in LA for this Gatorade event. It's like the high school athlete of the year event or whatever.
Water guy?
What's that?
With holding the water jug?
No, I was like interviewing the athletes. Like, and they were like, "You're gonna get to interview Wes Welker, Kevin Love." No, that's fine. I want the athlete, obviously.
I mean, I think at least three of us are peak male.
Yeah. Hey, I write about it. And but so I interviewed Wes, and after the interview, I was like, "Hey man, we've actually got a mutual friend in common." And he was like,
"Oh boy,
can't wait to hear this name."
Sure we do.
Tom Brady, right, pal? And I was like, "You know Wick Brenner?" And he goes, "Oh man, you tell that baby dick motherfucker I said what's up."
You know how many people I get? Like you're a common denominator between a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. So no, yeah.
Well,
you remember the first night we hung out?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Please elaborate.
No, I don't think so. That's not a good idea. It was after an NC State game. Anyway, yada. How was your Thanksgiving, Mac?
Oh, it was good. It was fine.
Speaking of Mac,
nothing too exciting.
Mac.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Mac Brown?
I feel like I talked about this on the last one, just saying it's probably time for a little change, a little new blood.
They handled it pretty shitty, though.
It was handled terribly.
That was really. I mean, if Osama bin Laden put a team together and played Carolina, I don't know. Right?
Which would be really impressive because he's dead.
Because he's dead.
Yeah,
so it would be like.
But I
said something similar
even
to,
think like that was just a shitty way to do
Jesus
that.
Jesus and his angels versus the beers.
But that was a shitty way to do him, man.
Beers? Like from basketball?
No, from Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
So as a loyalist, how do you feel UNC handled that?
It was poorly handled. Why not give them one more game and then do it? I think. Obviously, none of us really know what transpired, but.
Do we believe what Mac Brown said when he came out and said that they told him Monday, they asked him to retire on Monday ahead of the game? He said no. Then they were like, okay, Friday. He's like, still no. And so he leaked. I mean, he clearly leaked it out that he was told the players. It leaks out, and then he tells the media that he's going to do it. Like, I mean, do we believe that's how it went down?
I don't believe anything in the media.
Is it a new term? Refired?
We're currently creating a piece of the media.
You've been.
You can believe us though.
Yeah, right.
You've been refired.
The only reason I say it, I've been a part of things that are intentionally leaked. So you remember, what was it? 2 years. Doran.
So I don't feel.
Everybody was talking about, is Doran going to take?
He's already on to Doran.
No, this is a good one. So I send a text message. Hey, look, man, we got a lot of balls in the air. If you're leaving, just do me a favor. Just give me a heads up. And he's like, I'm not leaving, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and, put that out there. And so I don't know if you remember, I put a tweet out and I kind of shaded the conversation, but it was enough anybody could read. And there were more people that responded to that before my constant attacks, but that was intentional. No, I don't trust anything in the media.
Well, I mean, you can just working in the media, you can tell when, so for the Mac thing, it's like just the way that it was staggered with local and national media. You can if you've been doing this long enough, you can tell who it's coming from. Like it was clearly coming from Mac. It was and then the side comes out. It's like Mac is gonna leave after this season. That's from Mac, right? And he's telling his players. Then it's like. They're like, F it, we're just going to release issue a press release, Mac's been fired.
Boom, yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
That was pretty shitty. Yeah. And what's hard for me as a diehard State? I think most State fans would agree. There's two people that we say we hate them, but Mac Brown, when Cisse got hurt on that dirty fucking play, Mac Brown came out, like, even Roy Williams. Roy Williams, I have a story with Roy Williams that is one of the nicest things that another human being's ever done. Like, in Cuber Davis, like, they have really good human beings that are. I was pretty disappointed in how they did Mac like that. But who do you think your next coach is going to be? You don't care.
No idea.
You're a basketball
No
player.
idea.
What's going on with the basketball team?
They've been talking about a guy, I think his name's Tim Smith, the OC for maybe the Vikings, Carolina guy. His dad started FedEx.
No.
John Smith.
It's Arthur Smith. He's the OC for the Steelers.
Exactly, like I said.
He's already said he's out.
Allegedly.
No, I was telling people immediately he was never going to do it. He's an NFL guy to the core. But his dad, Zeb Smith.
What about
his dad's Fred Smith, who's like was a minority owner of the Redskins at the time. And then
Can't say that anymore.
But then he's also the
Jeff Saturday.
Jeff Saturday.
That'd be a big hire. That'd be a great hire.
That'd be for us. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Like the Matt Doherty.
But Fred Smith is the chairman of FedEx. Like, he started FedEx. And so the theory was Carolina fans were saying, if we get Arthur Smith here, he'll just like pump like FedEx money into NIL, which is like he can donate whatever
Jim Goodnight went to state.
Yeah.
You know, that makes
but I mean,
sense.
like the coach isn't going to like dip in his pockets to pay players.
There's ways.
You guys should see the compound that's
that?
being built overlooking
ways
the
that
Eddie
you can-
Smith Fieldhouse.
Not that I know of any coaches that would actually do that.
I'm just saying that like Arthur Smith wasn't going to take the job and then be like, hey, FedEx, like let's pay like players.
Sponsored by FedEx. Yeah. Anyway, speaking of Steelers,
what are you hearing since you're dialed in?
I'm trying to think of the latest buzz. It's like
TP.
Yeah, feel free to talk.
Let's throw him in the mix, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Just
I've heard nothing. But
Dan Mullen.
The tweet.
Dan Mullen's been banned, the guy from Tulane.
Seems like he's a front
seems
runner.
like he's a front runner.
Dan Campbell from the Lions.
Yeah, right.
He's talking about making a move.
How
Belichick coming out of retirement.
Did you see the Belichick thing?
No.
On Inside Carolina, this is amazing.
He could coach lacrosse too.
That's right. They were like the Inside Carolina. It was like it's actually. Are you not Mac TTP on Inside Carolina? Are you?
That depends. Is that guy cool or not?
No, he's the one who like misspelled Belichick in the post and was like, because my friends would take screenshots and send it. And he's like, the buzz is Belichick wants to coach so badly he's calling Carolina. It's like right. This
No,
guy's
it
never
wasn't.
coached
It's not
college.
me.
Yeah.
UNC immediately.
I would
Ross
never
Martin,
misspell Belichick. Bulcick.
Bilichick.
It's
So Trey,
Yeah.
on our group chat, I've heard nothing but I can't wait to upload
but-
all these
yeah.
fucking UNC.
Yeah.
What's
So
going
So
on?
what happened on the Twitter, on X?
okay, first of all, I put that tweet out. I said like quit the crying, like they do, which they do,
Are you in the screen? There
which
you go.
they do. Y'all know y'all do. Y'all cry every time y'all lose to NC State, and then when stuff don't go y'all's way, y'all start like attacking people. Like y'all trying to put my stats up, bro. I'm a practice player. Obviously, I'm not gonna have no stats. Like.
What's
y'all
your
try-
record against?
Wait, people are like sitting
What's your record against UNC?
My record against UNC is 4-2. I lost twice. 2019 and 2020. Those are just like
And
those are.
the 2020 game was in the middle of the season too. It was like in October.
Yeah,
in fact,
yeah.
that was the last time that Carolina beat State. It was October 24th, 2020.
Yeah, exactly.
The world was a different place then.
Yeah, there were no fans in.
Yeah, no, yeah. that
And
was-
then 2021, that's when we came back.
back when Donald
Because I
Trump was
looked it up,
president.
because it's 1,860 days
Computer.
the next time we play. The Carolina will have beaten State.
No, but it's just every time when they lose, they always trying to fight. It's like, why y'all trying to fight? Like y'all got a problem? Because I promise y'all, if y'all would have beat us at our stadium, y'all would have run that nasty blue flag on there and try to plant it on our center. Like, come on now, like it goes both ways. Stop being hypocritical. Like,
Bro, is your stance as a former player on flag planting? Like, if you don't want us to plant the flag,
Then don't fucking lose.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you don't want that to happen, then just win. Like,
That's a rivalry. That's part of the rivalry. It's not just some game.
It was funny to see too. Like, I guess Mac and Dave weren't really like involved in like trying to disperse this. I mean, they were trying to break up the fights a little. Mac was like hugging somebody on the ground. It was weird. Like, if you
I was down on the field trying to
yeah.
stir things up. I was trying to stir it up.
I saw that, and I was saying,
I was trying to grab the flag at one point. But man, those guys are huge.
But if you watch the two, like, and obviously it's different because like one guy won and the other guy lost. But like Steve Sarkisian versus Ryan Day, like Sark leaves his interview and sprints back to midfield. He's like, "Get off the field," because there've been like 40 fights the whole day. And like meanwhile, like the Michigan guys do it, and Ryan Day's like he doesn't know what to do.
So it's just part of rivalry.
Exactly.
That's just.
I mean, I don't think anybody's a huge Ryan Day fan.
It's just the culture of the rivalry week.
Yeah.
Like everybody trying to be soft and whatnot, like trying to ban the flag plants. Like, bro, it's like just win then if you don't want that to happen. Just like I think the Penn State and the Maryland game.
Yeah.
Well, like he was upset that they were still running up the score. I mean, they put that wasn't even. They weren't even trying to run up the score. They just put their bench warmers in. Like, just stop them then. Like,
you're trying to score with your ones. Like, don't blame me if I'm scoring.
Exactly. That's like better.
Hey, you know what? Win with class, lose with class.
Did you see I like the Arizona State one, and the guys run out to the middle of the field and put the trident in the middle.
Nah, he was a big Samoan dude.
Yeah,
so I was like,
nobody's gonna stop that moment.
I was like,
what do you think about the idea of
Pulls
like,
it out.
NC State Carolina becomes the flag plant game, where like if you win at the other team's stadium, it's like known that they get to go out there and like plant a flag.
They should.
Add a little juice to it.
So cool story.
It's already pretty juiced
iconic.
up.
It is, absolutely.
There's was packed.
Pre-game
It
fights.
depends. If Carolina wins, I love that. I love that idea.
Look, when
have you guys considered playing a soccer stadium just to like get a crowded environment? Or,
that's awesome.
was
It's
bad.
the soccer and lacrosse stadium.
Yeah.
So that
We were all inside, eating wine and cheese,
That's right.
drinking wine and eating
your
cheese.
So I will slam my charcuterie board on your head.
So that picture
You'll
that
see
is
me
pretty
shirts
iconic
off for a couple extra points.
of Cyrus Fagan. After we
mean
played
this
the
one?
flag. That so Cyrus, shout out Cyrus. So
I have a 10-year-old son, and this is the background of my phone. Like what a
Cyrus and Derek lived in my guest house for a while, and after that game, that flag came back to my house for the after party, and someone almost the flag got wrapped around somebody in the pool, and that flag almost killed somebody. It was me.
some drunk idiot.
He's like, tie it extra tight. Put the bungees on.
Yeah, but so one thing about that.
I've
So
been
when Larry
practicing,
Fedora,
I can get out. I can totally get out.
oh, it was touch and go there for a minute. Larry Fedora, there used to be pregame fights like when the recruits. That's a big recruit time too. There's a lot of in-state recruits that come, and I remember one year during Fedora, the recruits were down on the field. Carolina's players, all of them came over and just like surrounded this group of recruits, and just brawl broke out. But you didn't see that shit.
Yeah.
Now, a fine for that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
$25,000. Give me a fucking break. Yeah. Oh, what was that? The penalty on both teams.
How everybody had an unsportsmanlike. Yeah, that was weird. I don't get it.
Jolie just got up.
I really don't get it.
Replay
I just
it
don't
out.
understand. Like, Jolie got up. It's not like he even tried to do anything. And the referees, they suck. But anywho, another win for the Wolfpack. Shocking.
What bowl do you guys think you're going to?
What bowl y'all think y'all going to?
Fucking Deuce Mayo Bowl. It'll be in Charlotte. It'll be something Charlotte.
Y'all are projected for
The fucking
Pinstripe
toilet
bowl.
bowl.
No, it's
We
like
just
y'all-
played the toilet bowl.
y'all
Like,
proje-
what's worse than
y'all are
that?
projected to like play like Oklahoma.
There's talks about us.
Total
Look,
mismatch.
It's like Birmingham and Shreveport and the Military Bowl, which would be. Look.
It'll be interesting to see
Hey,
how much of
making
a
it two
team
bowls
we have
a
left.
win, right?
Yeah, for real.
How do you? I mean, like, do we agree with this premise that, and this applies to both sides, but it's like, Carolina bad season. It's like
Compared to what? That's average.
What I'm just saying,
Just let him talk.
Starts poorly, you guys get hot, and like, I mean, State fans are sitting there like, oh my god, like we're gonna be staring down like Mac, like suddenly going for like 9 wins or like 8 wins against us, and then can get 9 with a bowl game, like exactly like what we did to y'all last year. But it's like incredibly disappointing season for NC State. Not anywhere near what you think it's gonna be.
Wait, which season? Except for when you were there.
This season.
Has NC State, you come into the year and been this is the fucking year, and at the end of the season, you're like, they got it done.
No, we never got it done. But I'm saying like you're like 5-6 or whatever, and you're like this compared to like the actual expectations, top 25 in the country, and like so like no sugarcoating at all, like very disappointing season. But like the one thing that Dave Doran has done really really well is beat Carolina. And, like, it's like you go and beat Carolina in Chapel Hill with a thrilling into it. Like, the catch by Noah Rogers, just an all-timer in double coverage. Great throw from C.J. Bailey.
Who's coming back, by the way?
Who is?
C.J.
Dorn?
I was about to ask you about that because there's IPS is doing a Zoom call at 7. And I was assuming it's him. Don't worry, our tech...
Shocker. No, it won't be ready.
Don't worry.
Our tech department won't have this up by...
We're doing this from the future.
CJ's coming back, but it'll be interesting to see, even during the bowl game, how much of a team we have left.
Oh.
Got to have an offensive line.
Well, how about this?
But the point is, like, you take this dog shit season, and like it's crazy how much like that win against Carolina on the road, like just like takes it and like you're like okay, like.
Everything's forgiven.
Kind of. I mean, kind of. Like,
it's like Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
It's like you've had a shitty year. You won that game.
Yeah. Or
let's get ready for next year.
Or like Ohio State is like the same way. It's like you guys are going to the college football playoff,
right? And
don't even have to like. It's like, but they're like, we'll fire our coach. Fire him now.
How crazy is that?
It's insane.
I can't believe Michigan.
He could win the Natty. They're still going to.
And they're still going to be pissed. Yeah.
I took Michigan to cover that game, by the way.
Hey, how about this? How about
only win I had?
Just the ACC this year in football. Just the meltdowns this past Miami. Oh my God.
How about Florida State's full season?
Jesus.
No, it's crazy.
That's the only saving grace to our season is at least we're not Florida State.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy how SMU literally come in our conference.
First fucking year.
First year. Miami just was that the worst meltdown? Like
they should have lost a few games though. Like they were on borrowed time as it was.
And I saw Mario Cristobal has the most double-digit losses as like as a double-digit favorite in college football since he took over Miami. And their like record is like 5-9 or something to say. It's
you know why we don't have that? Because we're never favored by double digits.
By the way, I'm an SMU fan now because I went to an SMU game in Dallas. Very cool.
There's a lot of commonality between SMU and State.
On campus, similar like Ole Miss.
We have a lot of commonality. Like we've both been annihilated by the NCAA for things.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, first fucking year they come in, kind of shit.
That's crazy. And then Clemson's back in the championship. It's like, bro.
Like that was going to steal a championship.
Thank fucking God for Clemson. Really? They keep us relevant in football.
I'll tell you what. I think Syracuse is going to make something of a program, dude. I like that.
Was a fucking.
I like their coach.
That was a game.
That's a one name too that like really got me like concerned. It was like the Georgia DC might go to Carolina, which like if you look at like Dan Lanning leaves Georgia. Crazy success. Obviously, Kirby's killing it, and then that Syracuse guy is the former Georgia DB's coach. Like, I think if you can pull anybody from that Georgia tree, that Kirby Smart tree, like they showed they could really have.
Georgia should have lost that game too. Like there was
that was a crazy.
That was crazy. But
this
Georgia
is my favorite weekend in college football.
Yeah, for sure.
Georgia Tech got so fucked, man. South Carolina, there's a lot. That's for me as a State fan. It's disheartening to see so many other schools that have come from relatively bottom of the pile and building like legit fucking programs. This was supposed to be our year. It was. And I've heard Anai's going to come back.
So, that was an awkward silence.
Just put it out there and get any feedback.
I'm waiting for TP to lose his shit. Like, he's been so fired up on text. He's like, just fucking wait. It's coming. Like, I'm going to unload.
What, are you going to load on... Was he on Carolina?
I don't know. Just in general.
Respect you by wearing Carolina blue shoes and the color, everything. I mean, you're
dude, you can't run and hide from it.
No, that's, I love it. I fucking love it.
It was a good game.
Did you like Doran? Was it Doran? Was it after the game? He's like, I haven't been able to wear blue in 12 years. And the reporter's like, he's like, no,
I'm serious.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, he takes that shit serious.
He's like, I can't wear blue.
Who was it?
Did you hear
in the toilet paper too?
Hey, did you hear what he said after
Yeah,
they
he has
turned
like
off
blue
the mic?
toilet paper.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Wait, Doran has blue toilet
He was like,
paper?
Yeah,
suck on
Carolina
that,
blue
Tom.
toilet paper.
That's awesome.
Fucker.
Good for him.
Like,
He
he's
hates
like,
Carolina.
take that win and shove it up your ass.
I brought a group through the Murphy Center doing a tour, trying to get them on board for NIL, whatever. And, you know, I had like this I go through the weight room, the Livolsi Nutrition Center, which is hysterical.
Yeah.
And then we'd end up on the fourth.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought you never. Haven't you been there? Oh, so I have a picture of me when they were building. Oh yeah, I'm a pillar of health. There's a picture of me ripping a dart, holding a bottle of Jack while the fucking thing's being built inside. But anyway, we get up to the fourth floor where all the
behind the
coaches sit.
counter at the
It was
nutrition
under
center.
construction, and one of the guys that I brought was wearing. It wasn't Carolina blue, but it was a shade of blue. And Doran, like at first, he was like, "You can't wear that up here."
Yeah.
And I was like, and Doran didn't crack a smile, and like we went and got him a shirt.
Yeah.
He takes that very.
I didn't know he had
fucking,
Carolina blue toilet paper. That's
I haven't
awesome.
seen that.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know if he did, but I remember him talking about it in a team meeting, like talking about blue toilet paper. I think he does.
I wouldn't doubt
I'm
it.
not fully 100%.
His office is like the size of this building. It's huge. And he's got the
Duke blue
back
toilet
hallway.
paper. We can all agree on that.
Did I bring you?
We can all agree on that.
I interviewed him like in 2017 after the.
Speaking of Duke,
That was a
they had
crazy ending.
yeah, like what?
Last
what,
play of the game.
Yeah, last play
wide
of the game.
the fuck open.
No, he was wide open. And then the Lions game. That I talked to Aleem about that. I was
He's a
like,
monster.
no, for real though.
Who would have thought?
That penalty is the reason why they won. When they had the illegal hands to the face on him, that's the penalty because they caught that. He had a first down catch. I think Allen had the catch, but like it got brought back. And then once I saw like 10 seconds and he snapped the ball, I was like, oh, that's game, bro. I was like, he still had the ball in his hand at 6 seconds. I was like, yeah, that's game.
I mean, they didn't even get a field goal off. It's pathetic.
Did
Yeah,
you ever have
Dude
to
got
try to
fired
block
over
him,
it.
or did you ever have to go up against the lean?
Yeah, in high school.
Fuck that.
I actually know. I remember it was camp 2020. Him and Savion like literally lifting me off the ground. And you can ask Derek too. Like he literally lifted me off the ground.
Grown ass men. Like who would ever thought the Lions?
Not for real.
Best team in football.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, if you look at what
I love that coach.
I do too.
Yeah.
I want to play for
I
him.
would run through a fucking
I wanna
wall
play-
for that
literally,
guy.
I want
Yeah.
to play
wake up
for
on
him.
Mondays and watch his like post game
Oh.
on Sunday because you're just like, "Grr!"
I used to watch the Thanksgiving game early for Barry Sanders, and then it was for sympathy for a long time. Just like these fucking man, I know what it's
Then
like.
Calvin Johnson. Yeah.
And there was
now it's
nothing
like,
else to watch.
Exactly. Now it's like, man, these guys are fucking good.
What they did is really interesting, like from a team building perspective, because they were like, Dan Campbell's like, I mean, he's a football guy, like and they also brought in Chris Spielman, who's the former
He's a fucking beast.
Yeah. And then Brad Holmes, who's the GM who came from the Rams. So they made the trade for Stafford, obviously, knowing they would get golf, and Holmes was involved in drafting golf, so he loved golf. So he was like, this guy is perfect for the culture. But they went and they had guys on the offensive line already, and then they went and solidified the offensive line and drafted like Aleem, drafted Aiden Hutchinson. They went all in on the offensive line and defensive line first, and then the last like 2 drafts, they went out and got guys in free agency. They got guys in the secondary, and then they added like Jahmyr Gibbs.
Dope.
And they got like David Montgomery, who's like a big culture guy, like too, and a great running back. But like then they added like Jack Campbell, the linebackers, and then so like they did what teams always talk about doing, which is you build from the trenches out. And so they just locked in the trenches, and then actually, and then actually like solidified the back end, and they had and I think it's crazy because they have these like you have Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jesus.
But like,
I know
I mean, it's my job.
You have baseball? Do you have football cards? Do you know stats? Rain Man?
Yeah, okay. I mean, but none of those guys ever complain about like how much they get the ball.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a Jameson Williams game and Sam Laporta doesn't do anything. You don't hear Sam Laporta chirping. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, you see that on every team. Like wide receivers chirp, they don't get the ball.
Especially in the RB room too.
Yeah, like
they literally take turns. Like they
call
have a
themselves-
nickname.
Yeah, they wear
Sonic
the
and
Sonic.
Knuckles. Yeah.
That's
How
crazy.
about the rebirth of James, like famous James?
James Winston last night. That was fun.
That guy, I could watch him.
Phenomenal game, offense, do some great things, but I messed it up.
Post game,
he's
anytime he
hilarious.
gets a microphone in front of
He
him.
threw
It's
for
incredible.
It's fucking awesome.
470 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 2 pick sixes. That's just never been done before.
What
It's
do you
the most
say?
Jameis
I'm
Winston
praying
He's a
game.
man of
the
first.
Lord-
He's a
what do you say?
man
The
of
Lord
first.
deliver me from pick six, or what do you say? The Lord.
The Lord has to deliver
Yeah.
me from pick sixes.
How about Peyton motherfucking Wilson?
Yeah,
That dude's a
Wilson, yeah.
beast.
Touchdown, P-Dub. Man, that
I think
guy.
you say similar stuff to the Lions with the Steelers too, where it's like they and the announcers were talking about that, like the guy who sacked Burrow. It was cool if you watch the touchdown from Peyton. The guy who sacks him is like coming around like about to scoop the ball, and he's I think he's a second year D end, but they drafted like the second round or something like that. Maybe he's a rookie, I can't remember, but. You can see him like about to go for the ball, and he realizes Peyton's gonna be able to just scoop it and go, and he just pulls up, which again is like just smart football, selflessness, and smart football IQ. Where like you normally see a guy like dive on that ball, and he like kind of backs off of
He's
it.
a
And Peyton
monster.
just picks it up and rolls.
He's a freak, man. That interception he had against the Ravens.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
there's
running
wide
with
receivers.
Justice Hill, who's
Yeah.
he's like a tiny running back.
He's
Yeah,
a
that was
monster,
hard.
man. He's very very happy for him. The Steelers. Russell Wilson. All right, Russell Wilson. I've got a theory. All things
Listen,
happen
guys,
in cycles.
I'm a diehard Steelers fan. Have been forever.
Really?
Yeah. My dad's side of the family's from Pittsburgh. I grew up outside of D.C., so we were a split house. Depending on which team was better, we got to pick, which team was better.
Between Steelers and
Steelers and Redskins, Commanders, Washington football team, whatever the name may be. One of my roommates kicked for them for, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years. So Steelers, they are the worst, best team,
The
or
Steelers?
best record
Oh,
team.
it's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. And, God bless them. I'll cheer for them forever, but
It's like magic beans.
I think
they're gonna make the playoffs. They're gonna lose in the first round,
nah, I don't think so.
and it's gonna be like every season after.
It depends on who they like. If
If
let's say-
Wisconsin Rush shows up,
I personally
or
think
NC State Rush shows up.
It's time for a change at the top.
What?
Tomlin?
Tomlin?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
never had a losing
Insanely
season.
hot take.
Never
Dude,
had a losing
that's
season.
crazy.
Now is not the time for that
Hey,
take.
listen,
Did you give him?
listen, I'm telling you, man.
Ripping your balls off? What's
Yeah.
happening?
He's been a coach for what, 18, 16 years?
Yeah.
He's got one Super Bowl. He won
A
it
lot of
with
coaches
he
never-
won it with
Players
Bill
and-
Cowher's team,
Yeah.
right? Since then, what?
I
He's
mean-
22-0 at home for Monday Night Football games. Fucking great. Like, you make the playoffs every year.
See,
Great.
this is
You've
like-
got a winning record every year.
This
Great.
is the Carolina basketball fan in you speaking.
Well, I'm
Exactly.
just saying,
You
like,
sound-
are you getting
yeah.
paid
You sound
to
like
be?
us.
Are you getting paid to be a little better than everyone else? Or are you getting paid to win championships?
Well, it depends on what kind of fan you are.
I mean,
I
I'm a
like-
fan that demands slightly better than most,
You would have a worse coach if you fired Tomlin.
or a
Next
better
year.
coach.
No, who's better?
Bring back Belichick. We'll take Belichick.
He's dying to take the Carolina job. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
He's
Yeah.
calling
Dude,
it. It's calling
he could
now.
go to both teams. I'll take him
Yeah.
for both.
That
You
is
can coach Carolina on
insane.
Saturdays and the Steelers.
No, I haven't thought far enough along. It's like
know what, though?
Jeff
There's-
Saturday.
Now you say that, there's probably very similar logic with Doran and at State. Like you're a Steelers fan. To the outsiders that aren't diehard Steelers fan, hearing you say that's like, what the fuck? Doran, all-time winningest coach here, but 12 seasons, not even an appearance in the ACC championship game.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's some
I
commonality
thought Joe Giglio had a good point too. It's like Doran is now showing the absolute floor is like 6-6 for State now, which is like very different from what it was.
there. I don't think that's the
You don't
case.
think that's the case?
I think next year is going to be very difficult.
Even with Bailey?
They can get a line.
We need to get an
What's-
offensive line, and I think there's going to be a lot of attrition. And look,
If our offense is the same as it was this year, I
it's
don't.
not going to be. And
No,
The
I
money
mean
is-
like if we have the same system, it's concerning.
It's going to be the same system. And the money coming in, that at the end of the day, the different NIL can't be built like an NFL team. Like you just mentioned, they were strategic over a course of several years. NIL is year by year, and the money after the expectations of this season and the inability or the no desire to move forward with some of the really good ideas that have been presented on other ways to raise money to take the burden off of the fan. Money is, I feel for them. They're going to have a tough time raising funds because it's like, whoa, we just got this stable full of athletes. Like there was a long period we had the #1 transfer portal class in the fucking country.
Wait, was that when you were
Of course.
doing? Obviously.
I mean, let's be honest. No. But still, how, as a fan, I can't imagine people are jumping and having the mindset of, all right, no, well, next year's the one, especially after more players hit the portal.
Well, so offensively, we've heard that Robert and I is going to stay. You think that's the case? I mean, that's what Joe Giglio of
I
the
think that is what it appears to be the case.
Defensively, it looks like it might not be the same.
I would probably say, yeah.
Can we take a break real quick? Hold that thought.
Or
And
you get another beer?
get some beers.
Yeah.
We're back.
Okay, so defensively, as we mentioned before the break, some changes probably likely coming.
Probably likely, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mac Brown got fired. We don't even know who the next coach is going to
Yeah.
be.
Belichick?
Well, I mean, like
Tom Brady?
I guess we do now.
I mean,
Tom Brady.
like,
Tom Brady
I mean,
couldn't stay.
well, just to like get down to like brass tacks. Like Tony Gibson's name has been mentioned in the Charlotte job. The Marshall boards are hot in the trot right now, and he coached at West Virginia. Now this is me drawing a line, doing my media finagling. He coached at West Virginia when Pat McAfee was there. Pat McAfee said on his show, "I've gotten calls from a ton of people that I know from West Virginia. The West Virginia job is open." And Marshall's in West Virginia too. So like, I mean, obviously the Charlotte job he's not interested in, but West Virginia and Marshall seem like pretty likely landing spots, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Without putting you on the spot.
Best I can tell, I think there's 3 real options right now. I think App State would not be that much out of the question.
Okay.
I think Marshall would be another opportunity. I think Jimbo Fisher and Tony Gibson going to West Virginia together would be
Spicy.
that would be a big move.
Don't you know this guy, Tony Gibson?
Yeah.
Why don't we just call him? Call him and ask him.
Okay.
Right?
No.
We can't do
We're
that?
not going to do that. No.
Well, I mean, I think the Jimbo Fisher.
You're right.
Gibson
Uh,
FaceTime him.
Good call.
Oh, so did Gibson and Fisher work together at West Virginia?
I don't know. He worked under
I'm not
Rich
sure
Rod
either.
for a while.
Yeah, because he was with Rich Rod at West Virginia, jumped to Michigan. Rich Rod got, that whole staff got fired quickly, and so then he went and he was an analyst, or he was like a linebackers coach maybe for a while, and then came back to West Virginia as the DC. When the guy who just got fired got let go, Tony bounced. When the guy who just got fired at West Virginia got hired, he didn't retain Tony. That's when Tony came down here 6 years ago.
How the fuck do you know all this stuff,
Yeah,
Will?
he's like
This is
Rain
my
Man.
job.
It's incredible.
I don't even do my job.
You're really good at your job.
Thank you. I know.
Tony, he needs to be a head coach somewhere. I've
does.
seen, what's funny, when I first had a chance to get to know him, or even before that, you hear stories and, Tony Gibson. First time I saw him, I'm like, that guy,
He's so
not
handsome.
that intimidating. Yeah, like Drake, Thomas, and Peyton are talking about this guy like they would run through a fucking wall for him, but at the same time, you could tell that they were like, if he raised his voice, they fucking tightened up. First time I ever saw him, like, man, this guy? And then I went to my first practice, and I was like, holy shit. I think Tony Gibson needs to be a head coach somewhere.
So you think he'd make a good head coach?
I think he'd make a great head coach.
Well, and like this is the time too where he's 53 years old, see more facts than info. Wikipedia,
Jesus.
Wikipedia is great, man. But like,
You clearly don't have CTE.
no, right? See, I didn't play. That's right. That's why you didn't play. But he's 53, so you're like hitting that point where if you're gonna make the jump to a head coaching job, you kind of got to do it now. And it's weird. It's like the feisty defensive guys. You see this in the NFL all the time with like Mike Zimmer, where like nobody wanted to give Zimmer a head coaching job because he's like gruff and like, but like that's what you want.
Even the offensive players respected the shit out of Gibby. So I would be. I have no real concrete information, but I do not think Tony Gibson will be at NC State.
So if FanDuel were making odds, or FanDuel, by the way, sponsor us, or DraftKings or whoever.
My should be called draft money directly out of my checking account, Kings. Can't fucking win on that website.
Oh,
lose DraftKings.
Yeah.
It's just draft money out of my account and take it.
Anyway, I was gonna go, but I had like that Bills snow game. I was like in the like DFS showdown where you pick like 6 players.
Uh-huh.
And I had the only thing I had different from I won $100, and first place was 70,000.
Oh God!
And the only difference in the lineups, they had Jordan Mason, the backup for the Niners. I had Tyler Bass. You know that last field goal he missed to the left.
Oh Jesus!
If he makes that, I flip up to the top.
Oh my God! It's like Einhorn. Einhorn from like he's old. Laces out.
Einhorn is Finkel.
But I think for Gibson, you're old. I mean, if you're a coach. There's very few coaches whose goal isn't to be a head coach in a Power 5 program.
Wait, can we talk about you missing out on $70,000
over a kick?
Over a fucking kick?
It was tilting.
Supremely makeable?
Yeah. 47 in the snow. It was like, all right. But it was like on like the goalpost line that like started.
Did you
drifting.
know when you were watching the kick? You're like, this is for all the.
But there was like time left, but like I would have been in a really good spot.
Right.
Yeah. So
was your wife like, you're still gonna win 100?
Well, I'm divorced, so no.
Okay. Was your ex-wife like, you're still gonna win 100?
That's coming to me, big boy.
That's all. His ex-wife was like, come on, baby, that's 35 G's.
No, she didn't get any of that.
We never liked her anyway. I told Tom that at the wedding.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a great time with you guys there.
It was.
But no, like if you're Gibby's age, and you've never been a head coach, like you have to make the leap at some point, because like you don't want to be 65, or like even 60 making that leap. So if you have that opportunity, he's coached great linebackers, coached great defenses. I mean, you saw him firsthand, and it's like if you're gonna make the jump, now is the time to make the jump. Particularly when you run a system, that 3-3-5, that is not like easily replicable year to year. I think, depending on like what talent you have coming in and out.
But to put context to that, we lost the best linebacker we've ever had, a bunch of them.
Best defensive player in the country.
And even this year,
he was voted as the best defensive player in the country.
Even this year,
NC State Football Magazine doesn't count.
He won the national award.
Okay, maybe he was.
Several.
I love that guy, by the way.
In fact, the one he did win was like
the Buckets Award.
So I went to that award ceremony with him and his
our pal
family.
Franklin Rouse was there.
So he's my fave, NC State, other than TP. He's number 1. Peyton's number 2.
Yeah, I don't have a list of favorites, but
that sounds like a you problem.
It is. Gibby's what he does for, and you could give him like we could suit up, not you, Trent. We could suit up, and I feel like we would at least make a play or two. This season, we lost a lot of talent.
They're going to accidentally trip somebody.
Like in a Division I football game right now.
But I think that might, if I had to guess, why one of the reasons.
Tasers?
Oh fuck yeah!
Perfect.
And rope. One of the reasons I think that Tony Gibson won't be at NC. This is just my personal opinion. Is I think there's a lot of unwarranted pressure. It's almost become something that is taken for granted. Well, we have Tony Gibson coaching these guys, our offense. We don't need to
hey, Tony.
Spread the ball out.
Yeah, thanks for calling back. Tom's right here.
You owe me $100. And I think, there's so much just pressure of, well, don't worry, we have Gibson's defense.
Sure.
We don't have to, spread the ball, and we can be very conservative and call ridiculously fucking stupid plays consistently. And I don't care. That shit's going to wear on you. Take that out of the equation. Man, when he walks into a room, everybody he has that thing about him that would make a great coach.
What about him taking over for Dorn?
That'd be cool.
I don't think Dave's going anywhere.
I don't think Dave's going. I don't think it's much of a secret anymore, but, Gibson was named coach in waiting.
What about Carolina? We'll take him.
If he goes to Carolina, that would be
tough.
Yeah,
Tough.
It'll be great for us. You guys just talked about how fantastic this guy is.
That would never happen. Actually, I shouldn't say that.
Never say never.
Never say never. Yeah.
I mean, look, like that's a weird one. It's sort of like
that would be a kick in the
if
dick.
you're like if my I have a 10-year-old, so I mean I got some time here, but like if Robbie got like his only full ride was to Carolina. Like I mean I'm not
Get a job, kid.
No, I'm sad. I'm very good.
No, him. Get a job. You're going to yeah.
No, I'm saying like no, like I'd be like, you know, unless you like hate Carolina and don't want to go, then don't. But like you know what I'm saying, like I wouldn't stop him. I wouldn't be like, you're not going to Carolina.
There's only one school in existence I would ever stop one of my children going to.
Duke?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, if your kid had a full ride to Duke, you'd stop him.
Yeah.
the only one.
No, I would. My wife would let him go. She'd be like, have fun, honey. You're going to love it. It's so great.
She'd be like, he's going to Duke.
Fast forward 2 years, I'm on fucking Duke horns.
Yeah,
And go Devils! Yeah!
That'd be a tough one. So
Shaking hands with Coach K.
I went through some good example of people who don't have the opportunity to get to know the players and see behind the scenes. You know, Jakeem went to Carolina, and I liked Jakeem. Jakeem was cool as shit with me, and I'll be honest, I rooted for him to have a good season. Watching people on Twitter talk about it was like, man, y'all fucking A, dude. Like, you're talking to a really good dude that had made a decision that he thought was better for him. And if Gibby went to coach Carolina, fuck. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you just said he's.
We shouldn't even say this because then
don't speak
bullshit.
into existence. Yeah, like,
I can't wait on the short, the advertising one. Coach Gibson going to Carolina.
Oh
well, I mean,
my
but like
God.
the thing is, like if like I would be, I mean when I say I think all like, the fans would be furious.
It's the best chance you guys are gonna have.
But if like you have a chance to go
Jeff
coach a Power
Saturday,
5
Bill
school,
Belichick. I like our
Power
chances.
6, if you have a chance to coach, is it P5 or P6 now?
I don't even know.
If you have a chance to coach an AC, you'd be the head coach of an ACC team. Like, how do you? I'm not sure you can turn that down, quite frankly.
What happened, Doug? You can. I don't think that's an option. I think so. I went. Cool story. I went to the Greenbrier with Gibby and Charlie and some of the guys. Tony Gibson is a. Damn, some jams now. Tony Gibson is he's like fucking Elvis in West Virginia. I was outside. And I didn't really pick up on it. We were in the casino, and that place is a little different. Greenbrier's like walking back into the 70s.
You the tour of the nuclear vault?
I did.
Halfway through, did you want to kill yourself?
I was asked to leave that vault because I was a little intoxicated trying to light a dart. And actually, that ties in the story. So that same cigarette that I was about to light,
you shared
I went
it with
outside.
Gibby.
I went outside, and this group of people came out and started walking towards me, whatever, and they're like, hey, are you with Tony Gibson? I was like, yeah. They're like, do you think he would mind if we came up and took a picture with him? Blah, blah, blah. I was like,
Wow.
Like, yeah, if you want to sit through
that
this
moment
3-hour fucking bunker tour.
Yeah, exactly. After I noticed everywhere we went, people were, oh my God, it's Tony Gibson. Don't get me wrong, like I think a lot of people would know who he was walking through a crowd here, but man,
Did it bother you? They weren't saying Tom Livolsi.
No, that shit is. I'm not gonna.
I knew Will would like that one.
Fuck no. No, I thought that'd be cool. No.
Can I get a picture with you? Yeah,
Yeah, sure. And they hand you the camera. And they're like,
Thank you
hey,
so
here
much.
we go.
Thanks a lot. Nah, I think West Virginia would be a really good fit for him.
Yeah.
Marshall is an interesting one.
The two things I want to like loop back on, just because like you're like these are commonly known, but I don't think they are. One, the combo of Jimbo and Gibson. Like, Jimbo's out of work. He's getting paid by A&M. Like, he's fine. But like,
that'd be a
he's
formidable...
beloved in West Virginia. So Gibby would go as the DC there in that situation, I assume, or would he be the head coach and Jimbo's the OC?
All speculation, obviously.
So,
but I think Gibby would probably take a head coaching job over that.
For sure. Yeah, because like you want to be a Power 5 head coach, and you can't get there without being a head coach somewhere else most of the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like unless you're like, you know, like Lincoln Riley, who, you know, jumps from, where was he? He was at East Carolina and then goes to Oklahoma under Stoops, and then, yeah.
We have a history.
I feel like Will could just make up names and we'd be like, oh,
yeah.
Sparky.
My wife does that too.
Sparkplug.
You can do that a lot. You're like, yeah.
Think about all of the coordinators that we've had at NC State and how fucking awesome. And looking back, it's like, fuck. how did we let that one go? And I think this
Matt
is
Canada, your beloved Steelers, OC. I'm just kidding, Canada.
Chow.
Norm Chow, yeah. We had, what's his
You
name?
talking about defensive coordinator?
I'd say Dick Vermeil
I miss
would say there's no problem being
I
a
miss
DC
Ben.
your whole career.
Vermeil won a Super Bowl as a head coach.
That's what I was trying to remember. So
Not Vermeil.
whatever.
Who was the defensive coordinator for the Steelers? The old dude that was there forever.
Diehard fan here, really.
Yeah.
CTE, man.
He's in the Hall of Fame twice.
Yeah.
He invented the 3-4. If you hadn't asked, I'd know.
Yeah.
We
know who it is.
He invented the zone blitz.
Yeah.
Thayer had a very. Sorry,
pathetic.
keep going.
It is
You're
Dick.
still trying to think? Awkward silence. Thayer had a hot take on our episode that we will air about
Embarrassing.
Beck. And Thayer was pretty fired. And Trent just said the same thing. Tim Beck was a much better.
LeBeau.
Yeah. You got it without Google. Sorry. Dick LeBeau.
Yeah. So Beck, how many offensive coordinators you had?
Dude,
Thayer. No, that was a show at your house that we didn't post.
Yeah.
But Thayer was like, people don't realize how good Tim Beck was for the laughs. And like I ripped Tim Beck.
We're like an hour and a half into this thing.
Well, let's.
No, we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Closing.
I'm going to trim it down to like 20 minutes anyway. So.
No, you're going to spend 20 minutes.
When are you going to get Hansborough and your Carolina guys on?
I'm going to spend 20 hours.
Yeah.
What's up with your Carolina guys?
We need like a consistent time and place. Or we need to be able to work
That's
around.
fucking impossible. I can tell you, I can be there anytime, anywhere.
Do we have anything else we need to talk about? Because that is something we could talk about not on the show.
Let's see.
I feel like it's pretty good. We figured out who the new head coach is for Carolina.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Dick LeBeau.
Dick LeBeau and Tony Gibson.
Yeah. So we think the state of state is, and there's an IPS Zoom call at 7:00 tonight, the night that we're recording it. CJ Bailey coming back. That's big. That's huge. I mean, like, that's a big move.
He's actually transfer portal, UNC. Boom.
Another thing that I will say.
Casey Concepcion gone.
Yeah.
Surprised?
No.
Was he happy this year? He wasn't happy.
No, he was not. You
and
can
I'll
see
tell you,
it.
and that's another thing that makes me, like, people on Twitter just attacking him. Let me tell you, there are things that people don't know that I don't blame him one bit. And there are things that have been said to him that you wouldn't want your kid playing there. And, people talk about body language, things like that. KC has gone through some stuff, man. And he is one of the best human beings that I've had the chance to meet. And wherever he goes.
He also got a sick list of teams that are interested. It's like Colorado,
Alabama,
Deion, Alabama, Auburn, K-State, where his brother's playing. I mean, like, dude, like, he coming into this year, he's a projected, like, theoretical first-round pick as a wide receiver. That you never know how that goes. That's David Amerson, right? But like, if you can go get a ton of money by transferring to an SEC school, go get your money. Like in 2024, like, it's cool if you want to be loyal and stay with the program, and that's great. Like I'm all for it, but I mean, there's no guarantee when you get to the next level what your paycheck is.
Well,
right?
or if you even get to the next level, right? Like if you get paid while you're in college, like
So I'll share a little bit of insight that I can. So last year, there were rules in place where you could only transfer one time, right? And that's before the Dez or whatever the UNC guy.
Devontae Walker.
Yeah. So, but at the time, like after KC's freshman season, every team in the country was coming at him hard.
Yeah.
And with significant dollars, and there was some fine print bullshit in some of it. And, KC had a very difficult decision to make because, again, if he was to go to Texas or any of the other schools that were tampering at the time, that's your only move, right? That's your only opportunity.
But you get a one shot.
One shot at the time. Yeah. So I will say this, had that rule changed, it changed like a month later, where you can transfer.
Remember, Devontae Walker didn't play half of the season last year, and then it changed. So at the time, you can only transfer once, and Casey's a very smart kid, man. He knew if I go to Georgia or go to Texas, that's a stable full of other KCs. Yeah.
And then
Noah
the
Rogers
rule
came
change.
to us from
That's
Ohio
what I'm
State
saying.
'cause he
Then
was
we
like-
did the same thing.
Yeah.
But I will say, we built a team around Casey. Like, Casey is the one who wanted and helped me and get these guys here. And, you know, if now that rule's not in place, you can transfer as many times as you want, which, you know, to the individual, it's a risk. But I think Casey is going to be better served somewhere else, for sure.
Is that the rule now?
You can transfer as many times as you want now.
Yeah, I got like
Jack Clark.
Josh Harris transferred twice. He transferred from State to Ole Miss to UNC.
Yeah, they made him a captain last week.
Yeah, it
He
was captain.
balling
Yeah,
out,
I knew him and Keenan
L,
was
dog.
gonna be captain.
Mac
Jemias
rolled out-
Griffin.
Mac rolled out all the
Yeah.
former State guys as captains. Like, yeah.
Jemias Griffin went from G-Tech. He was supposed to go here. I hosted him. He flipped the G-Tech, go with his brother. Then he went to Oregon State. Yeah. Then he went to Ole Miss, then transferred back to Oregon State. Yeah.
Wait, you show up the first day of practice,
Yeah,
you're
he
like,
literally
fuck, this
transferred.
guy's way better than I thought he was. I'm out.
There's been a
don't know how that goes.
bunch of athletes that I've had the chance to meet, whether through portal or high school recruit, whatever. And the first that I like, damn it, you know, Stanquan Clark, Louisville. He was committed to us, done deal. And I was leaving for vacation the very next day. He had just verbally committed, and his mom, awesome family. His mom said, well, we are going to go ahead and take that visit, because he was still planning on visiting Louisville, but then he committed, canceled. His mom said, well, I haven't really had a chance to experience anything. Like, we're still going to go. I said, listen, if you go, you're going to decommit from us, and you're going to commit to them, because they're going to talk to you. Yeah, they're going to say how much,
Yeah.
And no. And Stanquan, awesome. I mean, freak of nature athlete. And he ended up exactly what happened. And then last week he got defensive player of the fucking nation. He had 2 picks. I think 1 pick. That guy, he's going to be a monster. But I was like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's
You want to be the last visit.
Yeah, you always
The
want to be
last visit.
I have nothing to do with scheduling.
Even AJ Barner.
Oh,
We
yeah.
could have got him. Now he went to Seahawks. Like,
AJ
I
Barner was
hosted
tight
him.
end?
Yeah,
Really?
I hosted him.
He got a touchdown on Sunday.
Yeah, he was supposed to, like, it was between us and Michigan. And Goebel told me us and Michigan. I was like, us and Michigan, bro. Like,
Think
I was
about
like, I
the
get it,
tidbit
but
I gave you about the quarterback that was going to be heading here before Grayson. That the young man. I'm not going to mention.
This
him.
is us.
You said, yeah.
There's
This
so
is us
many.
wrapping it up.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, all right, that'll do it for us. Thanks again to Barringer Construction. Thanks to My Way Tavern. Thanks to Albatross Golf Pub. Use promo code ADHD Sports, get 15% off. Nice Time Gummies. Use promo code SPORTSBALL, 15% off. Yes, we have that many sponsors of the show.
If anyone,
If you're interested.
if
If you're
anyone,
interested.
if anyone actually sees this at the end of the video, make a comment below, like, subscribe, and we'll send you a $100 gift card. Because I guarantee, just one person though, first one
Mac
to do
will
it.
put that out of his
Mac
Yeah,
will buy
I'll
you
do it. I'll do it out of my
$100
100 pesos, 100 peso
Pac-Man.
gift card.
Cartridges.
Mac will book you a bay at Albatross.
That's right.
If you watch this entire video. All right, see you
All right.
guys.
Later.